Excellent!
Good morning, everyone. It's actually pretty early for me to be starting a video today, but I have a few things to do. I think you guys might be interested and hopefully excited because today I'm finally continuing my long-awaited HTPC video. Now, it has been like a year and a half since I actually put this thing together, and it's been sitting here doing a fine job but not looking very pretty. It's just sitting on top of a subwoofer. It's dusty. I've added stuff on like this. There's a Blu-ray drive there. But the original plan was something that looks a little bit nicer and maybe is a little bit more put together, more professionally done than this. So for that, I got a piece of wood. The piece of wood is walnut. It's over here by my fireplace. And the plan was to mount the computer components to this, mount this to the wall, of course sand it and put some stain on it to finish it and everything so it would look pretty. But what I discovered after bringing it home was this, tiny little piles of wood dust, and that's coming from tiny little holes on the wood itself, and that is caused from wood beetles. Now naturally, I don't want anything that has wood beetles in it attached to a wall in my house, and there's two ways to deal with this. One is with chemicals, and we don't want to deal with that. The other is to kiln it or put it into an oven for an extended period of time. Now, my oven is much too small for this, so we're going to take it back to where we got it, Tool Peak Timber, have them kiln it for us, then we'll pick it up in a few days, and then we can actually move on with this project. But first, I have to go to the dentist.
Oh my gosh.
Looks like I'll be coming back to take care of that. In my defense, that's a filling, and the filling's old, so I've got some stuff around the filling. Never mind, let's go get wood. My teeth are nice and clean now, nice and polished, and I just talked to Rob from Tool Peak, and he's good to go for today. So I now have like an hour and a half drive, and then I can drop my walnut off. Well, I made it here. Rob wasn't feeling very photogenic today though, so he asked me not to film, which I always respect when people ask that. So I dropped off the wood, now I get to head home. And we're gonna follow up, and once it's ready, we'll come back and pick it up. It's been an exciting day so far, lots of driving mostly. This is a bit bumpy. Transition. All right guys, since the last shots, about a week has gone by. Drove home and now we're driving back. And now Joe is here as well. So I'm gonna go pick up the slab and also maybe buy some additional pieces because I want to put some shelves in too. I'm gonna make Joe stop filming though so he doesn't get car sick. Thanks, Joe. Alright guys, the walnut slab has been recovered, kilned. It is now wood beetle free, so very happy about that. We also have a bit of pigment here. We're not going to use the pigment for this walnut piece. We're going to use it for some shelves that I'm also picking up here. And here are what is hopefully going to become shelves in the future. This is English walnut. These pieces have not been kilned yet. So if I hadn't already warned you guys that this is going to be a two-part video, it's going to be a two-part video because I'm going to need to come back here actually probably in a few weeks to pick these back up once they've been kilned. I'm going to turn them into shelves. I picked them specifically because they have this wider part here, which will hopefully be enough space for the receiver to sit on. So that's exciting, but more on that in a future video. For now, let's get back to the original walnut slab. Wood. Walnut. So our walnut piece here should now be free of wood beetles, which is super nice, and I think we're gonna go with this side. So plans for today, to get ourselves to a point where I feel like things have been accomplished other than taking this back to Tool Peak Timber and back, is to go over the sides, and for that we have this piece here. We're gonna use a drill, take off any excess wood along the edge, and we might leave some of this. We're gonna see how it stays on and how the finish will look with that. Then we're gonna take an orbital sander to this to just get the rough parts nice and smooth. You can still see some of the little holes here from the wood beetles, but wood beetles should all be dead in there. And then finally we're gonna hit it with this unearthed naked floor hard wax oil. And that should be all it takes to get a real nice finish on this and bring out a lot of the hidden texture and beauty of this walnut.
Again, Paul didn't tell me to bring another shirt.
You know what we were doing today? Good job there so far, Joe. Why'd you stop, Joe?
Well, we have an endangered species, so I'm just gonna leave him alone until he decides to leave.
Oh.
Well, I guess I have to go home now. It can't work.
I believe this flora, this is fauna. What I was trying to say is that I believe that this wood has already been properly inseminated. It's not the right word.
It's inseminated.
Pollinated, that's what bees do. Anyway, thank you, bee friend. Go!
Comparison, like from that, right?
Before and after. Joe just finished the first sanding with 60 grit. We got 100 grit and then 150 grit, and we're hoping we don't need to go and pick up 220 grit because I don't have any 220 grit for my orbital sander. In the meantime though, I've been going over the edges. I think I'm gonna leave a little bit of this stuff on, but I'm taking off most of the larger chunks. And yeah, things looking good. Hell, you're not supposed to be out here, you're breathing in dust.
So I gotta wait, we carry this dust in the house.
I don't care. Finally applying the oil to this. We're starting with the edges, and this is entirely based on Joe's advice because he's done work in this area before. What have you done before, Joe? Woodworking?
Cabinet restoration, antiques, all that stuff.
Is that a new move right there? I got this line across the bottom now.
Cool.
Well guys, I hate to leave you here, but this has already been 2 weeks into this video and I have more work to do on this and I know I'm not going to finish anytime soon. So I hope this has given you guys back some of what you've been asking for, which is a follow-up on the HTPC video. I got more work coming on this. I'm really happy with how everything's going so far. I've got the shelves coming up soon as well. But that's going to wrap it up for this video. The last thing I'm going to be doing is taking my oily rag and laying it out in the sunshine so that it can dry out and we won't have any auto ignition problems before we toss it, because if you're working with oil, auto ignition of the rags you use is a major problem. It can happen laying it flat open so it can dry out in the sun, and then once it's completely dried out, then you can throw them away. You could also leave them submerged in a bucket of water if you don't have a sunny area to leave them in, but that's all the time I have for now. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed it, and I'll be back with more videos soon in 2019. Happy New Year! We'll see you next time.